Yeah, I turned it, so you have to look at me now. A long time ago, there were three families of chipmunks, and they were all different. There was the spotted chipmunks, there was the chipmunks that didn't have any stripes or spots, and there's the striped ones like we see today. They went about things in different ways. The striped ones did things different as far as their burrowing systems than the other two. And you could say the same for all of them. They were different. And for a while, everything was great. But then the big bad gophers came in. These were big burrowy animals. Gophers dig just as well as chipmunks. And so it put the stores, because chipmunks are great at storing things, at risk. Now the first chipmunks to succumb were the ones that didn't have stripes or spots. They were just plain old chipmunks. And their storage methods were the same. Now they would have a couple holes, one over here, and connected in the middle. And they would have a little chamber for breeding, and they would have their food chamber. And this food chamber had everything in it. It had all the eggs in their basket, so to speak. It had all the different kind of seeds and all the different kinds of nuts and all the chipmunk medicines they would need and all the other stuff. Sometimes they'd have a hard time finding water, so they'd have to drink dirty water, so they had little chipmunk pellets to throw in there. But long story short, when the gophers came in, it was easy for them to find all of their food. Yes, they could admire this big gallery full of everything they had accumulated, but it also made, for one thing, the food didn't last as long, and it was easy to dig up if you were a big bad gopher. Now the next ones to succumb, they went about it a little different. The spotted chipmunks. They had their warren system. Let's call it a warren. Multiple entrances, multiple food chambers. But these food chambers would all contain different things. This is one thing they needed. This food chamber was another thing they needed. This food chamber was another thing. So when the gophers came in and dug stuff up, hey, they would have lost one major thing that they needed, plus it got old because chipmunks, if you study them at night, they'll fill in their holes so nobody can find where they are, and then they'll open them back up. They would do the same thing with these chambers. So they'd open up the chamber for all the sunflower seeds, and now all the sunflower seeds were exposed. Or they would open it up for all their nuts, and those nuts would be exposed. You get the drift. And so when the gophers came in, they were able to capture the stale chipmunk food, because again, they all would get opened up every time they needed a separate food source or chipmunk medicine. And the gophers were able to capture entire groupings of chipmunk necessities. Now the third ones, the ones that we still see, are very smart. They have an intense warren system. They block off tunnels, and they know how to find it. To the gophers that come in, it's just a wall of dirt. But the chipmunks know where everything is. And plus, they're smart. In each of their many, many little chambers that stay sealed until they open them up, they have everything they need in each individual chamber. And so the gophers, they certainly were able to grab a few of those chambers, but it didn't matter to the chipmunks because I wrote those off. I'll open this one that the gophers didn't find, because again, they'll seal them off so all these chambers stay fresh, and they're too numerous for the gophers to find and wipe them out. And we lost the plain chipmunks, we lost the spotted chipmunks, but because of the cleverness of the striped chipmunks, we still have them. Well, that was a nice story, wasn't it, children? I like you too, as in every story, whether or not it's Nanabushu and the woodpecker, or Manasepwang and the spirit of fever. Take some wisdom and knowledge from each story that is related to you, and utilize it in your own chipmunky life. With that, I'm going to say adieu. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.